Admiral Zektar stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Dominion's Wrath, watching the tactical display with satisfaction. Before him stretched the most formidable armada the hegemony had ever assembled, 12,000 vessels of war, each one capable of reducing a planet to ash. They had crushed the Vorthak Empire in 3 days. The crystalline cities of the ethereal collective had fallen in mere hours. Now, they approached the outer rim of human space, expecting nothing more than another swift victory. "Contact on sensors," reported his tactical officer Quintos. "Single vessel bearing 27 Mark IV. Zektar's mandibles clicked in amusement. "One ship? Are the humans mocking us?" The viewscreen flickered to life, revealing a modest craft barely the size of a hegemony frigate. It was sleek but unremarkable, painted in simple white with blue markings. No impressive weapon arrays, no intimidating hull design, just a utilitarian vessel that looked more suited for cargo runs than combat. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth vessel Persistence," came a calm female voice over the comm. "You are entering human space. Please state your intentions." Zektar's laugh echoed through the bridge. "Human, I am Admiral Zektar of the Hegemony's First Conquest Fleet. We have come to claim your worlds. Surrender now, and your deaths will be swift." There was a pause. "I'm afraid I can't allow that, Admiral. You'll need to turn your fleet around." The bridge crew erupted in clicks and chirps of laughter. Zektar wiped moisture from his optical organs. "You will not allow it? Do you not see my 12,000 ships, little human?" "I see them," Chen replied, "but I also see their weakness." Before Zektar could respond, his communications officer began receiving reports. "Sir, the Vengeance reports engine difficulties, power fluctuations across multiple decks. Probably eager for battle," Zektar dismissed. "What else?" More reports flooded in. Ships throughout the fleet were experiencing technical malfunctions, not catastrophic failures, but irritating problems. Weapon systems cycling offline and back on. Navigation computers requiring constant recalibration. Life support hiccuping just enough to cause discomfort. "Admiral," Chen's voice cut through the chaos. "Your ships are magnificent examples of engineering. So standardized, so uniform, it makes them quite predictable." Zektar's blood chilled. "What have you done?" "Me? Nothing violent. I'm just one human on one small ship, remember? But see, humans have this peculiar talent. We excel at finding patterns, exploiting weaknesses, and improvising solutions. While you've been building your perfect, standardized fleet, we've been studying it." The tactical display showed a disturbing sight. Ships throughout the Armada were beginning to drift out of formation. Not destroyed, not fleeing, just struggling, like a vast organism suddenly afflicted with 1,000 minor ailments. "Your network protocols are elegant," Chen continued conversationally. "Very efficient. They allow rapid coordination across thousands of vessels. Unfortunately, they also create a single point of vulnerability. One small virus, carefully crafted, can propagate through your entire command structure. Impossible. Our firewalls are excellent against known threats. But humans don't fight the wars we're supposed to fight, Admiral. We fight the wars we can win." Zektar watched in growing horror as his perfectly orchestrated fleet dissolved into chaos. Ships collided as their navigation systems fed them conflicting data. Weapons arrays swiveled wildly, tracking phantom targets. The great hegemony war machine was tearing itself apart without firing a shot. "How?" he whispered. "3 months ago, you destroyed a human research station on the rim. Dr. James Morrison managed to transmit his final observations before the end. Detailed scans of your ships, their systems, their communication protocols. He died for that data, but it reached us. We've spent every day since then studying your weaknesses." The implications hit Zektar like a physical blow. "You sacrificed your own people to study us?" "We sacrificed nothing." Chen's voice hardened. "You murdered them. But humans have a saying. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. We remember everything, Admiral. Every atrocity, every lost life. And we learn. Around him, Zektar's bridge crew struggled with their own malfunctioning systems. The great view screen flickered between static and clear images. The tactical display showed friendly ships targeting each other in confusion. "Your fleet is magnificent when it works perfectly," Chen observed. "But perfection is brittle. One crack and everything shatters. Humans learned long ago to build redundancy into our systems, to plan for failure, to embrace chaos as a tool rather than fear it as an enemy." "You dare—" "I dare because I'm human," she interrupted. "We're the species that looked at the vast hostile universe and decided to explore it anyway. We're the ones who turned our greatest weakness, our chaotic, unpredictable nature, into our greatest strength." The Persistence hadn't moved from its position, but the hegemony fleet was disintegrating around it. Ships were withdrawing from the battle zone, their crews fighting just to maintain basic systems. The great war machine that had conquered empires was falling apart because of one human, and her understanding of how complex systems could be made to fail. "This is impossible," Zektar breathed. 12,000 ships cannot be defeated by one." "You're right," Chen agreed. "But they can be defeated by one human who understands that sometimes the best way to win a war is not to fight it at all, but to make your enemy fight themselves." The Dominion's wrath shuddered as its own systems began to cascade into failure. Emergency lighting flickered on as main power wavered. "Admiral," Chen's voice came through crystal clear on what seemed to be the only functioning comm system in the fleet. "You have a choice. Withdraw now and spend the next few years fixing your beautiful standardized fleet, or press forward into human space where every ship, every station, every human you encounter will be different, unpredictable, and ready to exploit whatever weaknesses you haven't even discovered yet." Zektar looked at his dying fleet, then at the small, unremarkable human ship that had destroyed it without firing a shot. In that moment he understood why 12,000 ships could fall to one. It wasn't about numbers or firepower. It was about the fundamental difference between a species that built perfection and one that embraced chaos. "Fleet withdrawal," he ordered quietly. "All ships retreat to staging area Gamma 7. As the hegemony armada limped away from human space, Captain Chen sat alone on the bridge of the Persistence, making her final log entry. The enemy's greatest strength became their greatest weakness. Dr. Morrison's sacrifice was not in vain. Humanity endures, not because we are perfect, but because we know how to turn imperfection into victory. The fleet that had conquered empires disappeared into the void, carrying with them a lesson they would never forget. Never underestimate the chaotic ingenuity of humanity.